Greetings to everyone present here to watch this presentation. Today, I Nabanjan Datta and my friend Shashank Shekhar Nayak are going to present on a very important topic of the chapter Carbon and its compounds, and the topic is nomenclature. What do we understand by nomenclature? Nomenclature means the system of naming of organic compounds. In case of hydrocarbon compounds, two systems of nomenclature generally used are number 1 trivial or common system and number 2 UPAC system. Now let's learn about the trivial or common system. Organic compounds were named after the source from which they were first isolated. Basically, they have no proper system for naming. For example, urea got its name since the compound was first obtained from the urine of mammals. Methyl alcohol was called wood spirit since it could be obtained by the destructive distillation of wood. Acetic acid got its name from acetum since it is present in vinegar. Formic acid was derived from the formicus since it could be obtained by the destructive distillation of red ants. Citric acid is named so because it is found in citrus fruits.
Shankar, and now I am going to explain you about IUPAC system. The IUPAC names have been adopted by International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. For IUPAC system, there are some rules which we apply to name the organic compound. It is not like tribal or common system. We apply rules here to write the name of the compound which is given to us. Now, we are going to discuss some steps for writing IUPAC names of different types of carbon compounds.
Step 1. Put root word. Count the number of carbon atoms in the given compound and write the root word for it. Root words up to 10 carbon atoms are tabulated below. We can infer from the table that if the number of carbon atoms is 1, then the root word will be meth. If the number of carbon atoms is 2, then the root word will be eth. If it is 3, then the root word will be prop, and so on. Now let's understand how to put root word with the help of an example. This is the structure of pentane. Here the number of carbon atoms is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here the number of carbon atoms is 5. So here we have used the prefix pent. Step 2. Put primary suffix. For saturated compounds, add the suffix "ane". For unsaturated compounds, add suffix "ene" if double bond is present, and if triple bond is present, then add the suffix "ine". Here we have to note that if functional group and substituents are not present at first carbon atom, then there its location is indicated by digits 2, 3, 4 and so on. Here are some examples which will help us understand how to use primary suffix. This is the structure of pentane. Here we can see that only single bond is present. So it is a saturated compound and hence we have used the suffix "ane". This is the structure of pentene. Here a double bond is present between the first and the second carbon atom. So it is an unsaturated carbon compound, and since double bond is present, so we have used the suffix "ene". This is the structure of pentyne. Here a triple bond is present between the first and the second carbon atom. So it is an unsaturated carbon compound, and since triple bond is present, so we have used the suffix "ine". Now let's move to the next carbon compound, pent2-ene. Here a double bond is present, so we have used the suffix "ene". But we can see that the double bond is present between the second and the third carbon atom instead of the first and the second carbon atom, as we saw in case of pentene. So we have used the digit 2 here. Similarly, in any compound, if the functional group and substituents are not present at the first carbon atom, then their location is indicated by digits 2, 3, 4 and so on.
Now let us see at a special case of functional group. When we get a functional group, we have to put a secondary suffix. Sometimes also a prefix, but we will see it in the next slide when we have to put the prefix. But mainly we have to put a secondary suffix. Step 3 is to be only followed when we get a functional group. For example, alcohol, we put ol as our secondary suffix after the primary suffix like "-ane" or "-ene". If we get aldehyde, we put al. If we get ketone, we put one. And one of the most important functional group, that is carboxylic acid, when we get that, we put oic acid. Now, these are some important functional groups with its suffix to be added when we get these in case. Now let us see at a prefix case. When we get halogen as our functional group, like fluorine or chlorine or bromine, then we put prefix, not suffix. We put prefix. For example, if we get fluorine, we get fluoro, which we have to put as our prefix. If we get chlorine, we have to put chloro as prefix. And if we get bromine, we have to put bromo as our prefix before the word root. If we get iodine, then we have to put ido as our prefix. We will see examples to make it more clear.
Let us see this example to understand better what we need to do when we'll get a functional group. In this compound, we got the functional group alcohol, as we can see. When we get alcohol as our functional group, we need to add secondary suffix as ol. So 3 carbon molecules are present, so it will have prop as its word root and ane as its primary suffix, as no double or triple bond is present here. So now we need to add secondary suffix because we have alcohol as our functional group present here. So when we add secondary suffix, we remove the e of ane or even ine or ene. We need to remove e. So we removed e and we will add ol as our secondary suffix. So the IUPAC name for this compound is propanol. Let us see one more example to understand it more, but in a more better way. In this compound, we can see 2 carbon molecules are present. So it will be the word root. And as no double bond is present here, ane is the primary suffix. I am not talking about this because this is part of our functional group, which is aldehyde. So therefore, when we get aldehyde as a functional group, we had discussed earlier that we put al as our secondary suffix. So here in this case also we will remove e, add al as our secondary suffix, and then the final IUPAC name for this compound is ethanol. In this compound we can see 5 carbon molecules are present, therefore pent is the word root. As we can see at second position, one double bond is present, therefore the primary suffix is pent to e. As we can see, we get bromide as our secondary suffix here, or we can say bromide as our functional group here, therefore bromide, we need to add bromo as prefix. Remember, we are discussed earlier in the slide, when it comes to halogens, we add prefix. So therefore we need not to remove e here, neither we have to do anything in the place of suffix. In the previous of the word root, we will add bromo, and therefore final IUPAC name is bromo 2-ene. Now I hope it is clear that what we need to do when we get a functional group.
In nomenclature of organic chemistry, a locant is a figure or to indicate the position of a functional group, substituent group, or any side chain. Now this is what locant is. For example, in this compound, you have to select a chain. For example, I selected this chain. Then this is the locant, this leftover hanging thing. This could be a functional group, any side chain, or even a substituent group. In this, it is a substituent group called methyl. Now let us see how we are going to give the IPAC name of a compound when we get a locant. For when we get a locant, we need to put secondary prefix. This consists of two things: what is locant number and then name of the locant. Let us find first how to put the locant number. To put the locant number, we need to find the position of the locant in the chain. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon molecules are in this chain and the locant is present at the second. So the locant number is 2. Name of the locant. What I mean by name of the locant is the functional group, substituent group, or any side chain. So here the name of the locant is methyl. So the secondary prefix becomes 2-methyl. Now let us normally name this compound, the chain of this compound, by adding word root and primary prefix. I mean primary suffix. So it is butane. So it is 2-methyl butane, the IPAC name for this. Now some of you may have questioned why I didn't name it like this. Instead I number it like this. Why? I did not select this chain, instead I selected this chain. What we are going to do when we get two locants? Now, there are some rules which gives answers to this question.
If locant exists in the given compounds, then its locant number with its name is added as secondary prefix. Here are some rules for adding secondary prefix.
Now let us see the first rule, that is select the longest chain. According to this rule, we need to select the chain where we get the maximum carbon molecules. For example, in this we get 5 carbon molecules when we select the chain, straight chain. But when we select this green chain, we get only 4 carbon molecules. So we need to select this chain like this. So let us try to name this compound. I hope it is clear that what we need to do when we select a chain. So I am repeating it, that we need to select the chain which has maximum number of carbon molecules in it. So we have 5 carbons in it and we select it as locant when we select it as chain. So we earlier this is a substituent group known as methyl. So it is methyl and this has 5 carbon atoms. So let us find a locant number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the primary prefix, the secondary suffix becomes 3-methyl and word root is pent. 5 carbon atom molecules are present and ane is the primary suffix. Now let us look at the next example. When we get two longest chain, we need to find which long chain has more number of locants, or we can say more number of prefix. So in this compound, when we select a straight chain like this, we get only one locant at this position. But when we select it like that, we get two locants at two positions. So here this substituent group methyl and this locant is also a substituent group known as ethyl. So let us find the locant number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the locant number for ethyl is 3 and for methyl it is 2. So it is 2 ethyl, 2 methyl, 5 carbon atoms, therefore pentane. And therefore the IPAC name is 3-methyl, so 3-ethyl 2-methyl pentane. Now let us move to the next slide. In the next rule, which is numbering rule, there are 3 sub rules. First one is locant rule, second is alphabetical rule, and third one is sum rule. Now let us see the first rule, that is locant rule. These rules specifies that how we need to find the locate number. In the first slide, you may remember that I took the locate number from right side to left, but not from left to right. The reason for this is locant rule. According to the locant rule, we need to give the minimum locant number for each prefix. For example, in this, the locant number for this ethyl is 3 when we count it from there and 3 when we count it from here. So here doesn't matter, so we take it as 3, but for this, when we count it from here it is 4, and when we count it from here it is 2. So 4 is wrong and 2 is correct, so 2 methyl. So it becomes 2 ethyl, so 3 ethyl 2 methyl pentane. Now let us move to the next rule. I hope this rule is clear to you. In alphabetical rule, we put the secondary prefix of the locant first, whose first letter comes previous in the alphabet. For example, here we have one ethyl and one methyl. So we will take ethyl first in the secondary suffix. For example, if we take it from right to left, the locant number for this is 3 and for this it is 5. When we take it from left to right, the locant number for this is 3 and for this it is 3. No, for this is 5. So what do we need to consider? As we said, we give preference to the guy comes first in the alphabetical order. Therefore, we will give preference to ethyl, and ethyl we will give it as a 3, and for methyl we will give him a 5. So it becomes 3 ethyl, 5 methyl, 8 so there are 7 carbon molecules, therefore it will be heptane. 3 methyl with 3 ethyl, 5 methyl heptane. Now some rule. According to this rule, when we get same locants multiple times, we get 3 times methyl in this example. Hence, do you think we are going to write 2 is the locant number for this, 3 is for this, 5 is for this? Do you think we are going to write 2 methyl, then 3 methyl, and then 5 methyl? No, we are not going to do it like that. What we are going to do is to write the locant numbers in series using commas. 2, 3, 5. Excuse me. So in this it is methyl, so we are going to write methyl. Now when we get multiple same locants, we need to put a prefix before the name of the locant. For example, if we get 2 locant, we put di, 3 we put tri, 4 we put tetra, and 5 we put uh, petra, and so on. Sorry, not petra, penta, hexa, and so on. So we are going to put tri in this case. Now it is 2, 3, 5 trimethyl, and there are 6 carbon molecules, therefore it is hex. No double bond or triple bond, therefore it is ene. And therefore the compound name for this is 2, 3, 5 trimethyl hexane. We are going to see more examples of to understand better what we need to do when we get a locant.
Now, let us put a look at this example to understand better what we need to do when we get a locant. Now, let us select the chain like this. We get 5 carbon molecules. Even if we select the chain like this, we get 5 carbon molecules. And even for the more prefix rule, we select it like this, we get 1 locant. And even we select it like this, we get 1 locant. And in both case, it is methyl. So it doesn't matter if we select the chain like this or like this for this particular question. So we are going to start numbering from this, because when we number it from here to here, it comes locate number as 2, but when we will number it here from here, the locate number will be 4. Hence we number from right to left side in this case. So 2 is the locate number, and the substituent group at the locant is methyl, so 2 methyl, and 5 carbon molecules are present, so pentane, because it is saturated, so we write ane. So the final IUPAC name is 2-methylpentane. Now let us put a look at this compound. We have 7 carbon compounds here, and we are going to select a straight chain. The reason for this is that when we select a chain like this, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 carbon molecules, and when we select a chain like this, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6. But when we select a straight chain, we have a 7 carbon molecule group or chain. So we are going to number it from here to here, because when we number it from here to here, we get the locate number as 3 and 4, but when we number it from here to here, we get 4 and 5 as locate number. So according to locant rule, we have to number it from right to left. Hence therefore 3, 4 dimethyl heptane is the IUPAC name, because 7 carbon molecules are present, so word root is hept, no double bond, therefore primary suffix is ane. And as we had discussed earlier, when we get two similar locants, we put the locant number in comma, and we put di as a prefix with the locant name. Similarly, if we get 3 here, we would have put comma, the locant number of the leftover locant, and then trimethyl. Same for 4. For 4, we put tetra, and then penta, then hexa, and so on. Now, let us see at this example. Here, the compound name is given, and we have to draw the structure. So now let us first look at the word root. It is hept. So 7 carbon molecules we have to draw. First we need to draw carbon molecules and leave space for hydrogen. 2ene. It means at the second position there is a double bond. So here is the double bond. So it is 2ene. Now let us give a look at our secondary prefix. 2, 3 dimethyl means there are 2 methyl locants at 2 and 3 position. At second position 1 methyl locant, and third position 1 methyl locant. Now let us put hydrogen in leftover C. I mean carbon. So I have a trick for this. We are going to see how many spaces we have there to put the hydrogen atom. So here we have 3, hence we will put 3 hydrogen atoms. Here we have no space, so we will not put any hydrogen. Similarly here we have 2 spaces of hydrogen, so we will put 2 hydrogen. Similarly here we have 3 spaces, so we have to put 3 hydrogen. Hope you are clear with it.
Now, I want to thank you for watching this presentation entirely from starting to end. We hope that you have understood the topic nomenclature clearly till some extent. Thank you and have a nice week ahead.